Every year it's a roll of the dice. Every year is a risk. It's calculated risk. One year it's gonna be beautiful, the next year it's gonna be smoky, the next year there might be a fire across the river.
This type of outdoor event, you are building a small city to entertain thousands of people for multiple days. It's inherent challenge, it's inherent risk. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
The challenge of how many jobs need to be done. The attention to detail is an enormous challenge. Right before you're sweeping it out and getting ready to open the gates, it's like, did we do this? Did we do this? Did we do this? You know, I mean, there's the checklist is substantial.
The early years, some of the biggest challenges were trying to get the community to believe in Chinook Fest.
Every year presents a new challenge. Chinook Fest ran into some environmental challenges, ran into some county challenges.
What's our ticket release gonna be like? What's that plan? What's the marketing plan? Logistics. How many security guards do you need? How many crowd management service people do you need? And then there's just the stress of getting 2,000 people in and out of this place safely.
When vehicles get the green light to come in here, we have RVs and trucks and stuff on the highway up there, and so we get them on the grounds as soon as possible.
This last year, gates opened and we didn't expect this to happen, but people met up in caravan. So the whole highway, about a mile back, was RVs turning into this place, and then we have to get them parked. And each one of those spots, there's not like a laid out spot that you can have. It's us specifically putting one after the other. So that's a huge challenge, huge challenge.
I mean, imagine planning a wedding every year for the rest of your life. And you're hosting a couple thousand people and 20 some odd bands. There's just the challenge of hosting people. Even the people with the best intentions, you put enough of them together, there's challenges with that.
In the beginning of the event, each day where we have to check everybody's ID, to get people in those gates and make sure everybody's of the correct age is a little bit of a challenge. Setting up with all the fences and getting everybody moving in the right directions, those are always a little bit of a challenge. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes.
I would say the constant balance of how do we keep the festival what people know and love, while giving people something new and exciting to look forward to, because it's always good to have a little bit of change in there, but not too much change. But with that comes cost. It's a lot of money to put on a festival.
Making sure we can sell the number of tickets we need, figuring out how much the tickets need to cost to make the event happen.
Weather is always going to be a challenge for an outdoor festival event. Rain or shine is one thing. We can plan for that. Forest fires, you can't.
The threat of wildfire has been a pretty consistent challenge year over year since 2014.
There was another year where we're seeing helicopters flying over with water buckets, and I mean, it's like feeling like things are serious, but it was downwind. Then another year, there was a fire on the other side of the highway. It ended up that we went into evacuation level 2. That means you should be prepared to leave.
So over the years, our team has taken it very seriously that we are responsible for the safety of all the people that come to Chinook Fest. Hopefully nothing does happen, but if something happens, all of us have talked to each other and we've made a plan as to what is gonna be that next step and who are you gonna get on the radio.
There's our little team, but then we have this huge group of volunteers, and in that group of volunteers, we have a lot of expertise.
Our saving grace is the community that exists around Chinook Fest, which thankfully includes a good number of retired firefighters, current firefighters, volunteer firefighters. A lot of those people were really generous with information and how to respond and their professional experience with what we should do in the event that we have to do something drastic.
So yeah, and then COVID hit. Starting to have those conversations with Don and Michelle and the rest of the team about, do you think we're gonna even be able to do this? Where are we at?
When you're a small event, not being able to put the event on in a single year can devastate an event. But mostly it was just a willingness to batten down the hatches and come out the other side and do Chinook Fest no matter what.
And we got through it. Then the next year came around. Biggest forest fire we've had in this region in, I don't even know, 100 years, maybe more. So 100,000 acre fire that started a couple weeks before the festival. And COVID was still kind of ramping at that time, so between the fire and COVID, had to cancel. So at that point, then it's really time to take what we've been considering for 5 years and say, one of these years we're not going to be able to save ourselves from this.
We sort of knew that the day would come, and it finally did. So hopefully we've made the right decision to have the festival in June now.
So they've changed that from second week of September to the second week in June. So I think that's a good change for the festival.
Second weekend in June was the only one that didn't overlap like Watershed or any of the other festivals. So we went for it. Lo and behold, the river was flooding.
I would definitely say that working with Chinook Fest as a county is a great experience, and the professionalism is exceptional. It is clear when talking to other commissioners who have experiences with large events, we're lucky. Yakima County is really lucky to have everyone involved here locally with Chinook Fest because it is absolutely a treasure.
Having the Chinook Fest team that we have, including all of the volunteers and people that pitch in and help, it's really reassuring to know that we can overcome things like wildfires.
Our team is just made up of a group of people that are like problem solvers. But every year we get stronger and stronger because of the challenges that we face.
These are people who care about people. These are people who live for a cause bigger than themselves. These are people who think about legacy in the future. You know, I couldn't be more honored to be a part of the Chinook Fest team.
But everybody that just is on the Chinook Fest team that come together, everybody has a role, and because of that, we all come together as a team, and it runs pretty damn smooth.
They're confident, they know what they're doing, and they execute it. And they do it in such a way that makes the event so great, why I love it so much.
That's why people want to come back, is because there's no drama. It's all about music, it's all about being up front, and it's good.
Yeah, it seems like there's always been something to kind of keep us on our toes. And although that makes things a little stressful at times, we got it. You know, we have an amazing team. Barring any like major natural disasters, I don't see anything that would stand in our way from doing it.